everyone. I hope you're doing well and I hope that you have a fabulous day. I'm here to do an intuitive card reading on today's energies to see what guidance, messages, and insights the universe wants to share with us. So let's go in and take a look at the cards and see what we need to know. Okay. So we have Oneness. Look for the common humanity, invoke Lemurian light. So a lot of times, especially in today's modern society, I can't speak of too much before, but modern society feels very, very divisive, feels very separated, detached, like disconnected. I have heard people talk about how back in the day you could, go up to your neighbor and like ask for a cup of sugar or whatever, and like they would have your back, like you knew people. Like, I don't know if it's maybe just my family and where I am, but my family doesn't know the neighbors. Like, my family doesn't interact with other people. Like, they're very much to themselves, and like they don't even really interact that much with people in our house. Like, it's just very weird and cold and detached and like all like funky, and like they won't greet one another. They'll like be in the same room but on devices, and like I've seen that in the world at large too. Like, when I was working at the local children's museum, I would see so many parents, guardians, older family members who are supposed to, be there with their kid or, niece, nephew, whoever it is, and they'd be on their phones. They wouldn't be looking at the children at all. They wouldn't even be talking to, other parents or other adults. Like, they'd just be in their own little bubble. And, like, the kids would be, like, running rampant, and not all of them, but, like, they could be, like, destroying things that, like, the adults didn't even care. It's just really wild to see just how disconnected we are and how divisive. Like, people are so quick to jump to, you're the enemy, just because maybe they look a little bit different, they think a little bit different, they act a little bit different, like with different cultures or whatnot and traditions. And it's just like, why are you so like jaded and like quick to hate and go to division and separation? Like, I get it. We each have different preferences. We can have different needs and wants. That's fine, but at the end of the day, we're all human. We all bleed red. Like, we have a lot more similarities than we can realize because we get so caught up and fixated on the differences. And it's just like, really, we're all one family. Like, if you look at like Native American beliefs and whatnot, like everything has a spirit. I don't remember the exact wording, but in Disney's Pocahontas, and yes, I know it's Disney, so they take some creative liberties to things, but they're like Pocahontas was talking about how every rock, every tree has a life, has a spirit, has a name. And so like it just blows my mind that like people can get so disconnected that they don't even realize that other things are like alive and have worth, and like we're connected to them. Like, when we harm others, whether that be like other animals, other plants, other people, like we're indirectly hurting ourselves, because like we're all connected. We're all part of the tapestry of life. We all have the connectedness. Like, if I don't know if you remember the whole story about the Yellowstone wolves, but like people were like so freaked out about the wolves and decided they were the enemy that they were limiting the wolves, and they're like, oh good, look at us, pat on the back, we took care of the problem. But it's just like, that just created more problems, because then the ecosystem was out of balance, and like then what was it, the elk or the deer or whatever, like the herbivores were going crazy on the plants, And so then they didn't have like the root systems to keep the dirt in place, and like then the plants were struggling to grow because all the dirt was like eroding away. And it's like, that's the thing, there's a balance. We're all connected. When you hurt one thing, you're hurting everything. And it's like, we got to look for more commonality. We got to look for more love. And like, it doesn't mean we have to let other people hurt us, like if they are truly being nasty and disrespectful and all that, but like not being so quick to judge and be resentful and hateful and all of that. Like, again, like when we hurt others, we're hurting ourselves. And like the whole hatred thing and the bitterness and resentment and the vengeance, like, you may feel very justified, and that's not to say you aren't in some regards, because there are people who are wrong, but when you hold that in your heart, you're just hurting yourself. Like, if you're clinging on to that and not letting it go, you're allowing it to fester, to hurt your heart and soul. And like, it's like you're drinking a poison and expecting it to kill the other person. Like, no, it's poisoning yourself. So, if we could, like, when other people hurt us, it's like when my family members, they like lash out and all that, it's just like, I don't give them a free pass. It's not okay what they do, but I'm recognizing, okay, they're at where they're at. They're not really open and receptive to learning and growing and hearing other perspectives right now. So I just need to walk away. That's the most loving thing I can do right now, because if I try to engage with them right now, they're not going to hear it. They're going to get even more triggered and mad and start blowing up. And it's like, that's not loving to any of us. And so, best thing to do, walk away, distance, to remove myself from the situation, because I've had hard days before. And some of the times it's my family, like, they're a lot, and like they do it to themselves, but they don't want to listen or take accountability. It's like, it's really gonna suck. You're gonna have a really rough experience because you're not willing to look at what you're doing and how you're doing it to yourself. It's sort of like, repeatedly touching a hot stove and then crying about how you're burned and it hurts, and like, why does this keep happening? It's like, you're doing it to yourself. I wish you would pick up on that. I've tried to talk to you, but But yeah, like, looking for common humanity. I know that they're human too, that they have good in them, the whole yin yang. No one is completely good or completely bad. Like, we all have our shadows, we all have our parts where it's like, I'm not as proud of that. Being human, it can be very tricky. But yeah, like, just finding ways to connect to that true love, and like how we're all connected, because it can be very easy to look and just get mad and just like write people off and be like, you're evil, you're the enemy, you're the bad guy. And it's like, people have redeeming qualities, even those that we want to write off as the enemy, the ones that are like, quote unquote, truly evil. Like, no one's truly completely 1000% evil. Like, that's just not a thing. They could have redeeming qualities that you just haven't seen. And sometimes because we don't want to see, because it makes it easier to cling to that narrative of them being horrible, But yeah, we gotta be careful with that. I'm wishing you all a wonderful rest of your day. Please take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye.